The title, display settings. Display settings, duplicate slideshow.
The bottom.
Yeah.
Yep. Is
We can
visible
start.
now?
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah.
We can start with the presentation.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, we are here to present our video to process file capability. I will give a context of what this capability is. We work with a lot of clients who are GCCs of international clients or multinationals, or they are BPOs or BPM companies as they are called who take over process management, operations management from clients across the globe. Now, while this happens in this business, it's important that one of the important process steps is what we call the transitions. And transitions is all about when a new process or an existing process when a new process is being outsourced, there is a knowledge transition that happens from the onshore, and that knowledge is then used in the offshore to train people, to build competency of the process, and then also to manage the process using the SOPs and other things. Usually, what happens is that in this activity, much of it, if there is no digital capability being used, it is done manually, and there is high effort that is required because it requires the onshore SME to spare time. The offshore SME or offshore transition team has to also spend a lot of effort in learning a new process. So hence, the whole transition process becomes cumbersome. At times, the SMEs have to travel offshore, or the offshore transition team has to travel onshore, spend time with the SME to capture the knowledge of the process for effective transitions. This is also becomes difficult if you use digital capabilities. So if you are using a capability like our process discover capability, then the IT, at times it so happens that the client IT is not very conducive of using technology for this knowledge capture, just because the IT evaluation and approval time, the ISG approval times can take a long period, and it can delay the transitions. So most often, at times, they resort to doing the knowledge transitions in an online mode, which is they will go onto a Zoom or Microsoft team and do a knowledge transition to the offshore team, and that video becomes the knowledge artifact, which is then used for train the trainer, training, and a lot of other purposes. But then these videos are cumbersome because they are long videos. They are big in size, and dealing with them is difficult. From the perspective that if I have to train more than many people in a more effective way, I cannot do that because I cannot share the video with everybody, and going through the video itself doesn't ensure effective knowledge upgrade. So this is where our capability comes in for these kind of scenarios. I can use the knowledge video, or the video which has the knowledge transition, where the knowledge transition has happened, and I can capture the whole process knowledge out of the video itself, and convert them into documents, process documents, convert them into simulations that can be then used for training of the people for the process. And I can, yeah, so those are the things that I can do. I can also create additional knowledge artifacts for very specific training purposes as well. Now, this is what our capability is. It's a AI powered capability. Can you just go to the previous slide?
Sure.
Just go to yeah. So some of the key functionality is that it is because it is using Vision AI technology. So it is highly curated to do accurate captures from the video. It also can do a logical structuring of how the different frames have happened and which frame have the knowledge artifact. It actually automatically can redact or eliminate not required parts of the video, which means introductions, giving introductions, giving high notes, high level notes of what is going to happen. All that can be eliminated out of the video, and just the section where the knowledge artifacts or knowledge sharing has happened can be precisely captured, and this activity can be done from a technology perspective in a much faster way than how it is thought of, that how can we convert a 1 hour video into knowledge artifacts, it might take more time, but we have deployed technologies which helps us do that faster.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you, Benny. Basically, I'll quickly cover this part. The entire functionality is happening in a public server where the videos are uploaded, and the videos can be clipped and specific the timelines which want to be extracted, and this videos conversions can be scheduled, and there can be configurations to make more it efficient, that you can define how many threads it should run, so that if there are more videos to be converted, it can be converted simultaneously. And as part of this conversion, what happens is that we extract the user's interactions on the screens, and what is the region on which he has interacted, and on what specific context he has been interacting, and what is the type of data that being input, and what is the type of the field on which he has interacted. And on top of that, we can even tell which screens and which application. Basically, it means that it categorizes, it's a business application or data entry applications or a spreadsheet applications, like that it can categorize. And this can be converted into a process file, which is a proprietary files type for us, which can be used to enrich it into a content where you can add more informations like callouts or sticky notes, or you can add audio additionally to do create a simulation or a document out of it. While doing this, we have given a capability to summarize using our Reflex AI. And if you have any audios to be translated, that can be done. And the object detections that happens in the images are through our proprietary AI technology. And all these things are now converted into a process file, which is an epiplex proprietary file types. And that same will be enriched and converted into the content as I have shown here. It can be created as a PDF, XML, or Word or HTML document, as well as an HTML5 based simulation. This is the screen which I'm showing you, is actually the server to which the files are getting uploaded. This is an overview of the giving an overview of how many files are there, what is the transactions, what is the conversions happening. And this is basically few screens where the videos are uploaded. The timelines are clipped here, actually from which timeline to which timeline I extract the process, and we save it, and then it is put for translation, sorry, conversions actually. And after the conversion, these files are being checked out to the Epiplex review and process review and development environment, where you can see how the videos are now converted and created into a process steps, which describes the actions and the screens and the regions on which it has been acted. And this will be directly converted to a document or a simulation using our Epiplex content generation technology actually. We have done a comprehensive study on the competitive side actually, but what we could observe is that though there are a lot more players in this video to text documentation or things like that, but we category creators, we can say that Eplex is a category creator where we can deliver a very proper structured process documentation and extract the precise data or precise context on which the user has been doing his actions, and automate the entire process and create contents, and that can be easily circulated. So the main pain point what a video could be used as a knowledge transfer is being taken care here when it's converted into a simulation or document.
Yeah, so some of our key strengths is our ability to use AI to analyze these videos and then extract content out of it. Our ability to filter noises, which is people who have clicked here and there, those kind of noises can be eliminated. So all of that can be done through this. We are not, we are a category creator here, so we don't have the market opportunity sizing. But the way we see the uptick in our existing clientele, we are very confident to, for the next 3 years, to generate sizable revenue out of it.
Thank you,
Yeah.
team. The time is up. Let's start with the Q&A.
Hello.
Professor Kulkarni, would you like to go first, sir?
Hello.
Yeah. So good evening, everyone. Thanks for the presentation. My takeaway from your presentation is the word process, right? So by that, I understand that there is a category of videos where instructions are given or something is getting explained, and these are the kind of videos that you help convert into the documentation that you showed by enriching them in various ways. So is this, first of all, is this understanding correct?
Yes, this understanding
Yes.
is correct, sir.
So what are the target, or let me ask you this question. Can you highlight certain applications that you have addressed and for which you have provided solutions at this point in time? That is question number one. Question number two is, when it comes to understanding the content of video, there is a lot of off-the-shelf technology that is available to do various things. So the question here is there anything that you can claim as yours and which you can highlight as an innovation?
Sure. So let me take that, sir. This is Benny. The first question, from an applicability perspective, as I said, this is highly applicable for businesses which run as global competency centers or global shared services, or for that matter, if they are third-party BPOs, because they need knowledge transition as an activity, and it is highly applicable there. Just give you an example, we are currently working with a large beverage provider of global beverage manufacturer, and they have close to 500 videos that they have, which they have traditionally used for, and these are, so to say, redundant knowledge artifacts, which cannot be shared or which are not effectively used. But we are using our capability to capture knowledge out of them, which then becomes highly reusable, and it also has high retention, because otherwise, they would, somebody leaves the organization, nobody knows about the video that was ever captured. So those kind of things has happened. So high knowledge retention, high knowledge reuse, effectiveness of the knowledge dissemination is very effective in this use case. Part two of your question, you are right, sir. There are several streaming video analytics or streaming video processing capabilities out there, but ours is very specifically positioned for a very specific opportunity of these kind of businesses, and it needs a very specific kind of treatment to the video, which means while I am looking at the frames, I have to clearly identify the process artifacts which comes from my knowledge database. It has to clearly assemble that knowledge artifacts in a flow which also comes from my experience and know-how of how I have seen these, or my process have seen these process flows, and how to identify them and assemble them together. It also comes with a proprietary model of how we apply Vision AI in identifying the key elements from the screens, from these frames, and identify that what a specific application is, what a specific kind of activity is happening. All that knowledge base is ours, which is very unique.
Okay, thank you. If there is time, I'll come back later on. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Professor Zhang, would you like to go in second?
Thank you very much for the presentation. So basically, I think at the high level, the description is very clear. The idea is very nice. I'm curious to see a concrete example to see how the final result of your product, right, is different from others and much better. So do you happen to have such a result?
So just confirm, you are asking about the output that is produced out of the.
Yeah, final result. So essentially, I just try to see what you can get right from video and why it's so much better compared to alternatives.
Yeah, so the other providers actually are primarily for summarizing the video or creating summarizations from a video or explicitly doing analytics on the video to identify regions and activities. But ours is, as I said, very specific to process. So what we produce out of the this capability is one documentation for the process, which means it's a comprehensive documentation of how what the process flow is, what the process is about, including the process flows and activities.
Yeah.
And I also produce a simulation out of the video.
Yeah,
Which is,
it creates an SOP documentations and users, interactions on each screen and what kind of an interaction and what data inputs have been done. So it creates a comprehensive step-by-step document by extracting the information from the video.
and the second thing is it also creates simulations,
Yeah.
which is highly useful for trainings.
Yeah.
So these simulations can be directly put into a learning management system, because otherwise exchanging videos is a very difficult affair. So simulations becomes a very compact and effective way of disseminating knowledge for training purposes.
Mainly the tracking and certification can be done through the simulation for all the users actually.
Yes, thank you. I think the explanation is very good. Since you already have the product, I was hoping for some kind of a demonstration or just example, right? To see how to make use of your product finally.
Link was provided in the documentation in the
Yeah.
interest of time.
Yeah, we have actually provided a YouTube link actually,
To the video.
a video actually given. So
Yeah, in the interest of time, because we have 10 minutes here, so that's why we included in the pre-read
Yeah, the
material that we
nomination
have.
process, submission process, we have.
Professor Zhang, you can just check the link which they have shared, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I'll do it.
Professor
Oh,
Peter?
thank you. Yeah, I'll check. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so you have mentioned using advanced AI. Would you be able to unpack this and explain which of the advanced AI is something that is your own innovation, or whether the innovation is in putting things that already exist together in an innovative way?
Yeah, so it's the lateral. It's like putting available technologies in an innovative way, because we don't want to build what is already built. So, so what I can exemplify a few examples. The very first is Vision AI, where we use the Vision AI not as a core capability, but we have further augmented it with a small LLM, a small language model, which has our own way of identifying the different objects in the screen, and identify them and categorize them. The other thing that we have used here is speech to text, which is if there are speech elements which are knowledge artifacts, we can convert them as a process documentation directly, and then we can also convert the outcomes into multiple languages, from this product itself, and because the
translations.
the translations are the translations are highly contextual as well, because it is not like generally using a Google Translate or anything, but it's like also checking the context of the translation for high comprehension and context. You want
Okay,
to
so
add?
would it be fair to say that every single element that you use is existing technology, but you use them in a very particular way together to build the product?
Absolutely.
Basically, we have trained this object detection model through a large data set, which we have, over a period of time, we have trained it, and the accuracy is, quite high. Maybe we can say that 90 to 95% of accuracy it provides for object detections actually with respect to applications and screens. So that is what we integrated into the product while, converting the video to process file actually. For identifying the objects, we use that proprietary AI technology.
Okay, and why not using off-the-shelf object detectors? They
So
wouldn't work in this context, or?
No. So not the complexity, but context. So I can use any Vision AI capability available out there or a component out there. But I believe when I apply this to analyze a frame in the video, I have to clearly identify that that's an SAP screen. I have to clearly identify that there are fields which are meant for invoicing process, and when I identify this, I have to put all this in the same with the same context in the output as well. So what I capture from my vision is highly contextual. That's why we don't use any tool.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Peter. Thank you, Julius, for your question. Team PNs, your time is up for the presentation as well as for the Q&A. Wish you the best with the innovation again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Julius, please enter your score.